morning, everybody. This is Carlos, the running jackal, recording his Sunday show as I approach the weir. Today I'm going to be going through the saddle on the Hill of Happiness. Also known as the Mountain of Joy. Lots of water in the weir today. As I hit my first hike section. I have an hour to fill today. 1 hour of fun on the trails.
Zone 1.
I should be able to do it. Just around the hour would be nice.
Zone 2.
It's chilly again. Yesterday was the deluge and the drain off. Now I'm hoping that the trails are a little drier than they would have been yesterday. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be an unavoidable wet shoe day today. As I run through the tree graveyard.
Zone 4.
Keeping honest, keeping in zone 3 as much as possible.
Zone 5.
Oops. Yep, the trails are sloppy today.
Zone 4.
Not too bad. I've seen worse. It's when there's standing water.
Zone 5.
You can't even get through it without splashing yourself. Today I should be able to stay on top of the
Zone
mud.
4.
On top of the mud. Luckily it hasn't frozen yet, because that will be the next whammy if all this stuff freezes up.
Zone 3.
Probably going to see a fair amount of wind damage from the last few days. Just crossed the minor tributary of the Douglas Creek. That one flows off Mount Doug into the main creek and then out to the sea.
Zone 5.
Out to the sea. Zone 5. Be coming up on the 2K pretty soon.
Zone 3.
This is one of those puddles that I was telling you about. I got round the edge this time,
Zone 2.
but later on I won't be trying quite so hard to stay dry. It might become unavoidable later on. So
Zone 1.
the mushroom colony is up next. As I change feet, trying to step over a large puddle. All right, I'm off again.
Zone 2.
Heading up towards the road so I can be on the other side sooner.
Zone 3.
Once I'm on Whitaker, it'll just be running around to the resort and then over the fake bridges up onto Upper Whitaker and then through the saddle and back through the glory zone to Harvest Lane.
Zone 2.
Just crossing the road here. Well,
Zone 3.
I was looking back through my records of photographs of my cat indoor, and we've had her 7 years now, probably more like 8. And she wasn't new when we got her, so I'm saying she's probably 10 or 11 years old. She's getting sick.
Zone 0.
I think it's probably her kidneys. Apparently cats quite often succumb to
Zone 4.
kidney issues. We'll be sorry to see her pass on, but she doesn't seem to be in pain.
Zone 5.
She doesn't seem to be in pain.
Distance 2 kilometers. Average heart rate 131. Workout average pace 8 minutes 4 seconds per kilometer.
8 minutes 4. Okay. That's about the same pace as when I run these trails with Norma. Later on I have some climbing to do, but at the moment I'm just taking advantage of a downhill.
Zone 5.
Oops. I'm going to check my strap in a minute. It's rather too many zone 5s popping up here. I know I'm excited, but this is ridiculous. Yep. It's not beeping the right color. It goes from purple
Zone 0.
to red, and then when it is recording accurately, it sort of stays on blue.
Zone 5.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully
Zone 0.
we'll be getting some sensible reading from my strap. There's a lot of deking going on here. I have to keep zigzagging to avoid roots and puddles. But this section is nice and dry. Always well drained. Yeah, poor old Endo. It's a little bit worrying because we're going to be away in Uruguay in March, and our son Zarin is a little concerned. She asked Norma what to do if Endor dies. Sad.
Zone 1.
Past one of those turkey tail fungi.
Zone 2.
Hi.
Zone 5.
That was Peggy Sue. Didn't recognize her till
Zone 6.
after she passed me. Peggy Sue Andrews. I might see her on the other side. Huh.
Zone 0.
Still getting some wacky red readings here.
Time for hydration.
20 minutes in.
Zone 6.
Yep, I think I'll just switch off the heart rate strap and ignore the data from there today. Not sure what happened, but could be the cold, could be a build-up of humidity, who knows. Up I go. I just have to be a little more conscious of my traditional hike sections. This is one that I always hike. Up I go. Pretty soon I'll be at the resort, heading back towards the fake bridges nestled between the two hills. Yep. One of the options on Strava is to enter your perceived effort manually. Today's going to be medium hard, so that's what I want to. I should earn myself about 100 effort points, maybe a little more. But that effort business, if it's based on your heart rate, then it's a combination of how high your heart rate gets, how fast you're moving, and how long you're out for. Today's going to be an hour of, I'm guessing, around 135 with the hike breaks that I'm taking. Pretty soon we'll be away from the noise of the cars, which will be nice for all of us. This is where Norma and I normally turn back. Today I'm going to push on a little further. Up I go, away from the noise, finally. This is a chin scraper of a hill, which I have now topped. So I should be coming up on 3 kilometers quite soon. When I make my turn at the resort, I will be the furthest from home. But I'm coming back through the...
3 kilometers. Average heart rate 145. Workout average pace 8 minutes 10 seconds per kilometer.
Yeah, well, forget the heart rate. That was probably the last reading that I got. I think it'll eventually just whittle away to nothing, because I'm not recording any more heart rates. So I'll be averaging that number more and more, broader base of average. I've done 3K so far, Of that I am sure. So Uruguay, quite an adventure. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard some interesting podcasts about Uruguay. It is a left-leaning, progressive democracy, I guess you call it, a workers' democracy. Well, Argentina is probably a military dictatorship, and that is just across the River Plate from Montevideo, which is the capital of Uruguay. So this is the resort. I'm now turning into the silent zone. Within a minute I'll be away from all man-made noises. Excuse me. Other than my own man-made noises. Might hear a float plane overhead. It's about the only thing you get to hear when you're in the forest of fun. The float planes. Okay, some wind damage here. Big tree came down. 2 big trees came down. I guess I should take a picture, a photograph. As I reach for my device.
Auto pause.
Got it. And the resort. And this is Whitaker Trail leading to the fake bridges. Once I put this camera away, it'll be a steady jog until I get to the climb to Upper Whitaker. It's very hard to work with gloves, but luckily all my devices are analog. I don't have to work my touch screen today for any reason. I shouldn't have to anyway. I can work my camera and my voice recorder with gloves on. I hear an airplane, but it's not a float plane. It's probably a passenger jet flying to Hawaii. This is nice and dry here. That's good. Good drainage. It's always appreciated. Gets a little steep here. I'm going to give my heart rate strap one last chance to behave. As it starts to recalibrate itself. I should be in zone 2 by now.
Zone 1.
Hello there.
Zone 4.
Hello.
Hi there. Hey there.
Hi there.
Morning. Hey, Carlos.
How are you?
Good.
Mike Szymanski and his troop as they go over the fake bridges. All right, so this is where I climb up to Upper Whittaker. Hi there. How are you? Yeah, well, not bad. Handy.
Seen you on Facebook once in a while.
Once in a while. All the time, man. Are you with Mike and his guys?
Yeah, we're just kind of out here playing around.
Yeah, well, you're losing them.
Oh yeah, no, they skirted.
I saw them
And I
go
went
over the bridges over there.
Yeah.
They're heading towards the resort.
Okay. Yeah, because I went Irvine up and over.
Was it
down
still
the-
flooded?
Zone 3.
Irvine
Not-
was like a stream
It was
yesterday.
still running a little bit where the gravel was.
Yeah.
It's now kind of in the middle of that.
It's made a little trench.
We were at Thetis yesterday.
It must have been muddy.
One of the crossings that normally is here.
Yeah.
It was right there.
Waist high.
It was awesome.
Is Elaine out today?
Yeah, see, her and Colleen are out here mulling around somewhere. You might run into them.
I probably will. I've seen 3 or 4 people I know. I've seen Dave. I've seen Wendy Sue. She's out here somewhere.
Oh, cool.
I've seen Mike, obviously Mike.
I went to the parking lot. I think there was about 30, 40 people in there.
Wow. Have a good run.
Zone 1.
Yep. Everybody scatters. We all know these trails so well that we don't have to follow anybody.
Zone 2.
We just do our own thing. Szymanski has a group. Mike Szymanski used to be one of my nemesi. One of my nemesises. Up I go. Yep, I see chalk arrows here. Somebody is marking the path or flower. Comes a dog
Zone 4.
on a leash. Hello, dog. Hi there. So this is Whittaker Creek. Normally Whittaker Trail, but as you can hear, it's a creek today. Yep. This is where the unavoidable wet shoe situation begins.
Zone 3.
And my heart rate seems to be working correctly. I could easily get a zone 4 on this steep section, even with the hike as my mode of movement at the moment. I do miss hearing the heart rate. It does upset me when I don't get a reliable reading. But you probably know that, how anal I am about things like that. Doesn't really matter, I guess. But if you have a device, it might as well be working correctly. That's what I always say. Zone 3. I see. Up I go. That's probably telling me that I'm now roaming.
Zone 4.
Yeah, zone 4 on a hike, on a steep hike. We're getting to the Elephant Rock very soon.
Zone 3.
Then the saddle, and then down Glendenning to Harvest Lane, through the Glory Zone. So Jim and Anthony had a show out yesterday. I think it was called Walk Talk Walk, not Run Talk Run. But I think both of them have kind of slipped off the pace there. Jim needs somebody to train with and to record with, and Anthony, with his night shifts and his wonky knee, isn't giving him the camaraderie that he needs to keep him motivated to record a show. Mind you, he could do a solo. I do 1 or 2 solos every month. Mostly nowadays I'm running with Norma, and when we go to Uruguay, that's going to be interesting because we'll be running in a new place, looking for daily outings, either running or hiking. Yep, to concentrate a bit here. This is the wet rocks.
Distance 4 kilometers. Average heart rate 144. Workout average pace 8 minutes 51 seconds per kilometer.
8:51. Which means...
Zone 2.
Thank you. I've slowed down a fair bit. But that was the uncertainty. Before I put my heart rate strap back on again, I wasn't trusting my reading, so I was erring on the side of caution for my little heart, my little engine, as I called it yesterday.
Zone 3.
Yep. The engine of the machine is the heart. The legs are the transmission. The body is the chassis of the vehicle. All right. Coming up on the elephant pretty soon, unless I just passed it. No, I don't think I did.
Zone 2.
I think I'm still a little bit shy of the Elephant Rock. Yeah, well, it does make it a lot easier to record when you have somebody to talk with. I don't mind doing these solo recordings on the quiet side of Mount Doug. But that way, if I don't say anything, you've still got the pleasant sounds of nature to listen to.
Zone 3.
Zone 3. Oops, another big puddle. Yeah, now I got both shoes wet. A couple of soakers. Yeah, I have passed the Elephant Rock. This is the other rock that looks a little bit like an elephant, but not quite. Not quite as much as the other one. Excuse me. That was my porridge. Yep.
Zone 1.
Getting back to sick pets, I'm sure we all have had our little heartaches. People with dogs, especially.
Zone 2.
Dogs are so much of an emotional bond. Talking of dogs, I think little Ollie is doing great. Moose seemed to be enjoying himself yesterday with the boys from PA. Up I go through the creek. You can hear the water trickling down. I think I'll take a picture of the Cascade d'Eau. Actually, I might actually take a video.
Auto pause.
Alright, so this is normally a dry trail, but not today. For those of you watching the video, you will see me wading up through the trickle as it flows down Whitaker Trail. This must have been a real torrent yesterday. There was so much more water coming up the mountain. It was after a night of heavy rain. There are some natural springs up here, so when the water table gets up to being at the level of the surface, the springs break through and show themselves. And they normally are exactly where the trails are, the lowest common denominator.
Zone 3.
The water finds the lowest spot. And so do the trail runners and hikers. Very soon
Time for hydration.
I get to the back of the saddle. Up here, the trail splits up and I take the left fork.
Zone 2.
That's weird. Looks like a kid's sock. Yep, that's what it is. Could probably make a good
Zone 3.
voice recorder windsock. I will put it in my pocket for later.
Auto pause.
More chalk arrows here.
Workout resumed. Zone 2.
This is the way up to the saddle. This little 5-minute video will be the trailer for today's episode. The Hill of Happiness. I think that's the title I'm going to give it. This is quite steep. You probably don't get a full sense of the angle of the terrain, but that's where I just came up from, that corner. And this here will be the saddle when I get to it, between the two mountains. That side is Little Mount Dog. This is the saddle, the jaws of the saddle, right here. And then through to the other side, that is Big Mount Dog on that side. I'll just take it to where it gets a little easier
Zone 4.
to run. I don't want to fall over today. That is a distinct possibility.
Zone 3.
My hands are busy. My mind is busy. My eyes are lazy. The rotted tree. Oh, there it is. That is quite a sight today. The rotted tree. A couple more winters and that will be gone. Alright. So this is the running jackal signing off from his video
Zone 2.
round about here. As I put the device away again, I hear my cohorts in the forest of fun. Yep, another chalk arrow. Hello.
Zone 3.
Down I go, down the creek. The creek on the other side. The watershed of this particular stream system These streams flow out to Glendenning. Hi there. Yep.
Zone 5.
A couple of Team West Coast guys. They were hiking with poles. Probably older than me, actually.
Zone 6.
That I find hard to believe. Let me just check. What color are we flashing here? Flashing red again.
Zone 0.
Norma thinks it might be humidity buildup because of her Apple Watch. If she gets very hot and sweaty, it gives her the big drop
Zone 6.
symbol. Yep. I'm still flashing red here. I've just spared my sleeve so that at least I can keep an eye on my heart rate light. Still flashing purple. Can't be trusted.
Zone 4.
Still flashing purple.
Zone 3.
That's better. That's what I expect. I will accept a zone 4 now, if I get one.
Zone 4.
Yep, there's the runners. I might actually end up running with them. Nope, they went down the bowling ball chute. Hello.
Zone 5.
Yep. Switching it off again. Can't be trusted. I never had any trouble in the summer. It's only since I started wearing long sleeves and a hoodie with long sleeves. Too much build-up of moisture. When I get to Harvest Lane, I will stop the recording because that should give me the 36 minutes or so that I need.
Distance 5 kilometers. Average heart rate 134. Workout average pace 9 minutes 21 seconds per kilometer.
Now we're going to be speeding up. Excuse me. All the way home. Getting to the turnoff. The old goalposts. I'm on Glendenning now. Flashing through the glory zone. In the forest of fun. On the hill of happiness. Alley up. So, this is where I bid you adieu. Thank you for joining me. Keep subscribing. Keep listening. Keep interacting with me. I love doing it. So, until midweek, I say bye-bye.